We did our first panel, Gothica.
And he looks inside and it's just full of all these Reese's peanut butter cups. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I screamed, I scrumped, and I fell down.
It's kind of like the first time you go to Disneyland versus the 30th time you...
Alani could only power us for so long. Hey you guys, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Liz, and welcome to a spoiler-free episode of the Besties in the Books podcast. Today's episode is all about our RomantasyCon, our Fabled Fantasy Events, second experience with them.
Yes.
And we're so excited to talk about it because last year, as you guys know, we went to RomantasyCon LA 2025 as regular attendees. This year, in 2026, we went as media partners, which was really cool.
So exciting.
One of our goals for 2026, like already checked off the list, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you, Fabled Fantasy Events, for having us. So exciting.
And thank you guys for supporting us. You know, because then in turn, Fabled Fantasy reached out to us, and it's a symbiotic relationship, and we thank you guys so much. Your support means so much to us. It means so much to us that Fabled Fantasy asked us to host those panels and the Dragon Race, and it was such an incredible experience. Yeah. I could cry.
Sure.
I'm crybaby now.
Very grateful. Yeah, Ashley, Old Waterworks is her new nickname.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be, talking about our tips and tricks for going to a BookCon, if it's your first time or maybe not. But we're also going to be talking about maybe some things that we would suggest from a media partner perspective, since we did get to host a couple panels and the inflatable dragon race, as Ashley said before. And we're just going to be talking about our experience in general, how it was interviewing these authors and just hanging out and meeting a lot of you guys out in the wild, which was really cool. But before we get into it, we just wanted to say thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and your book to come on and listen to us. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you like to listen to favorite podcasts, including YouTube. And we're also on Instagram and TikTok. Besties in the Books podcast everywhere. To our new friends and our original OG crows, thank you guys so much. Seriously, thank you for your support. And you guys might have noticed us walking around or seeing in our stories some new Bestie merch. So we created this Flying On Vibes t-shirt with a cute little book and wings. It's neon vibes. And then on the back we have, I'm calling it right now, but we can workshop it, the Sword of the Ugly Truth. Okay? Because
I saw that on the episode map and I was like, actually, I love that.
Okay.
So, hey.
Yeah. It's like Sword of Truth, Sword of the Ugly Truth, because, we're sharing our opinions, take them or leave them. We're roasting our favorite stuff and our least favorite things, and it's just the truth. We're no holds bar over here. So we don't want to offend anybody, of course, but a truth is a truth. So, hey, there we go. And then we also have a new Antisocial Book Club hat for the spring and summer girlies. I've been rocking mine and loving it. And kind of a take on the beanie one. So you can check that one out. And we'll have a new tote bag as well with the Sword of the Ugly Truth. Maybe some other little surprises in there. So that merch line is now available right now, as well as our original merch line. And there is going to be a coupon code, RomantasyCon, if you want to use a code for a little money off. It'll be about a week long while this episode is new and fresh. You can use that discount code with your order. So check out that, you guys. Thank you again so much for your support.
So awesome. Also, I just wanted to mention here, Ashley and I we voice memo every single day and text every single day all day long.
19 times, yeah.
But 19 times, 10,000 times.
That was more
probably.
like 10,000.
Yeah. But no, it's funny because I was like, we're always saying, may the crows be with you, whatever. And I was like, yesterday I said, it's in the crow's hands, right? It's in God's hands. It's in the crow's hands. And then I was like, wait, crows don't have hands.
You went into a full spiral. I was cracking up.
I was like,
in the crow's hands. Oh, no, crows don't have hands. Okay, no, they can't hold it with wings. In the crow's claws. Okay, in the crow's claws. You okay there? You okay there, buddy? It was so cute.
I saw my world flash before my eyes, but also it was hilarious. So anyways.
Imagine if they had hands, though. Little arms.
Yeah. The lore for the tiny hands over here on the channel also is growing. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyone who's seen our reel that we made about Wuthering Heights in the hotel room at RomantasyCon, so it is relevant to this episode, okay?
Yes.
Like, gets our humor. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a good time.
It was so fun. So fun creating it. It's great. Good hands all around.
Yeah, everyone loves a good tiny hand or
I
creepy
have them
hand.
somewhere. They're up here. I don't know if you guys can see them. And my daughters keep stealing them and scaring each other and me around the house. So it's great. It's great. They're little Kathy hands running around.
Okay, so, all right, fave and fail of the week. We're just going to do BookCon edition, of course.
Obviously.
So why don't you kick us off with your fave and fail BookCon edition, RomantasyCon.
Great. Well, you said you were starting first, so here we go. Fave and fail.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Fave and fail. Fail is that, how did I put it? Liz, I'm sitting there at the end of our trip. So Sunday, we got a late checkout. Thank you, Biltmore, for having that as an offering to the crows. And we snatched that up. And I'm just thinking, dude, because we'll talk more about it, but we missed the bell of the ball we missed. So that's a bit of a fail, right? Saturday night. So we'll talk more about that in our section where we go over our entire time. And so I'm thinking, on Sunday, I'm getting ready, packing my bag, and I'm like, what could we have done differently? Like, to make sure that we can fit everything. And Liz is like, gee, I don't know, be younger.
Have more energy.
It's like Alani could only power us for so long until we finally were crashing out. So the fail is just that we couldn't do all the things no matter how much we did. It's like, how is it possible? I did more in my life than I did that weekend, and it still wasn't enough, because that's the thing. It's like Fabled Fantasy does a great job of having plenty to do. Plenty to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes you're going to have FOMO because you can't do it all. But hopefully it's not a one and done for you. Hopefully it's not a two and done for us. Like, we'll continue going and experiencing. So, but, with that fail also comes lots of faves of literally the whole weekend. How can I choose just one? Having the opportunity to host an author panel, incredible. Incredible. And two, at that, so good. I mean, coming from it's trippy because Liz and I are filming in our safe little bedrooms, like our book rooms or whatever, and to take it on the road, it's trippy. It's a readjustment, but also I think you put it as like it felt natural.
Yeah,
it didn't feel as scary as we thought it could.
It was a weird phenomenon because it's like, I was telling Ashley, and I was trying to explain this to my dad because he was asking too. He was like, well, do you get stage fright? I'm like, I don't get stage fright. What I get is like nervous that we're not going to like ask the authors the right questions or that the authors won't feel like the conversation was meaningful enough to really get the point across about their books. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's where I get nervous and I feel the pressure is like, are we doing these books and these authors justice because like they deserve so much? And
we only had 45 minutes.
Yeah, like,
which
and
can
you
be
have
short
to do it in
for
45
a panel.
minutes.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to do it without you. Straight
same,
up. Like,
same.
I need, somebody asked me, oh, Ashley only do it or Liz only do it? No. Because
it's like an emotional support bestie.
That, and like, I'm watching the time. Liz is looking at questions. We can have little notes because, we'll talk about this in our panel section. Some panels go faster than others and some are more talked out. So you kind of have to be flexible with that if you're a panel host, and we'll talk about, our tips and tricks with that for anybody that's listening that might want some insight behind the scenes of panel making, as it were. Sounds like woodworking, but hammer up
panel making. Actually, this is a podcast about doing, what are those things? Baseboards. We'll be building baseboards today.
Building the foundation. So it's a trip. It's a trip, but then also felt so natural at the same time. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting at is like, I felt nervous. So we'll talk about more of like exactly what we did, but going into the room initially and seeing all the chairs and like, the stage up front, and I was like, oh my God. Well, then we like sat down at the actual table in front of the mics and it was like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, okay, I feel better. Like, as soon as I was sitting down in front of the mic, it was like, we do this every week. Like, okay. Yeah. It felt totally different.
I think it's too because the mics were stationary. If we had to hold them, it might have felt different because you're having to like think about your hands. It's thinking about too many things. So it felt very natural in that way. Yeah. So, dude, I mean, but everything was a fave. Like, we'll go on, and we will, because that's what this whole episode is about. But so like, for now, Liz, you go ahead and tell us your fave and fail.
Yeah. So my fail was similar to yours. I said I struggle with more than one event a day that we're hosting, like one big event. And I just put, I'm a fairly antisocial girl. So I feel like that's like a common sentiment at a book convention, right? Like it's a convention of people who mostly can probably identify with being a bit antisocial, quiet, introverted, etc. That's why reading is one of our favorite hobbies. And so, like, it definitely is, like, it feels very like a welcoming safe space to those types of people for sure. But still, it can be very, like, overstimulating because it is just a lot going on all the time. So I definitely put, like, we need to... You could just always refine how you kind of like navigate an event like that. It's kind of like the first time you go to Disneyland versus the 30th time you've gone to Disneyland. You know what I mean?
Totally. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like at this point, I feel like when Ashley and I go to Disneyland, it's like we're zipping around, we're doing this stuff, like we're trying to be as efficient as possible. And like it's tiring, but we've got it kind of dialed in. So it'll just it'll take some more times before we have it like streamlined like that. You know, like, will we be tired? Yeah, for sure. But it'll be like we checked all the things off the boxes that we wanted to do, you know?
And Biltmore is kind of set up like Disneyland where you have these different lands. Biltmore, it's all over the place, which I thought maybe the Orlando one would be like that too. But somebody had said Orlando was very easy, cut and dry.
Like a big convention center kind of,
If you've been to Disney, you're like looking at your phone, you're figuring out where the lands are, you're figuring out the wait times. It's literally like that at the Biltmore, you know, and it's just some adjustment. Yeah, because you're literally stairs, elevator, move, boom, 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 you know, and so it's like it's socially, it's emotionally, it's physically exhausting, all in a good way. So you're running on vibes, but it's definitely, and it's adrenaline, you know, meeting new people, like all those things.
I think it's just, we need to just refine our strategy and that'll just come with time. You know what I mean? That's exciting though. So that's what I put as my fail, which isn't really a fail. It's like, it's just, you know, it's hard to not be able to do everything that you want to do because you're just one lady with only so much energy. You know what I mean? And then, my fave were the author panels for sure. I mean, we love interviewing people here over on the podcast, but being able to interview 4 amazing authors at a time twice was like literally so cool. And about topics that are important and interesting. And it was just top tier. And then I put in parentheses, just being silly in the hotel room. Like, that's always, like, a good time. Like, Ashley and I have been doing that since, 2000 and probably 2?
No, you joined the year after, so 2023. Silly times in hotel since 2023. No, 23.
2003.
But,
Messing around, the old, what did you call it? The old Rescinda, Ashley, and Liz mess around. Yeah, totally. Like literally the best.
So fun. So fun. And speaking of Rescinda, special shout out to Rescinda, our friend and assistant for the weekend. We would not have been able to do half the stuff without her. More than that. She, went around introducing herself to authors, hanging out, shopping, passing our stuff out, saying hi to people, which like literally is not something Liz and I easily do on our own. We might seem like very social people and we can be in that setting, but it's really hard for us to like put ourselves out there where Rescinda's like, here, listen to them. They're great. Here, check that out. And if we're talking to anybody, here's some stickers. Let me take your guys' picture. And that is exactly what we needed because once too many logistics get involved, I feel like both of us kind of shut down or forget or feel awkward. Or if we have a third party saying, here guys, let's take a picture, And we don't have to like look around. Can somebody take our phone to take a picture?
Like get your phone out, dig it out of your bag if you're carrying all this stuff. Yeah. I think
it's
for
a lot.
me, I'm just not a good multitasker. Like, and so that's where I get lost. Because it's like, if I'm trying to look at a book, then I have a hard time also paying attention to like, oh, but I need to be like talking. Or like if I'm talking, I have a hard time remembering that I need to take a picture or get stickers out. Or like, it's like I can't do all those things at once. My brain just doesn't do it.
Yeah, while also talking to the people in front of us.
Yeah.
And being present. So we were able to do that this time, and it was amazing. She got our coffee for us too, which like literally is so needed. And so much more. If you missed that episode where we took Besties on the road and did a slumber party in our hotel room instead of the ball, Lucinda helped moderate that for us, and it was so fun. I can't wait to do it again. Yeah. It was so fun. So shout out to Lucinda. Thank you so much. Let us know if you guys met her, because she is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's often in book club, so she's around.
Yes. I have a special moment to share that was off camera that I wish we got it, but we didn't know. Okay. We are literally...
we didn't know because it was a complete accident. It was not on purpose at all. There was no way to predict it. Okay.
We have tiny hands, okay? We have the tiny hands in the room. I'm in the bathroom freshening up before we went to do something when we got there. And Liz, I just had a feeling. Liz is going to jump out and scare me with those tiny hands because it got really quiet, Liz and Lucinda in the room. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to be on my guard. They're not going to scare me. I grew up with a sister that constantly scared me. I'm ready, okay? I was expecting her to come out this way, right? So I'm like, joke's on her. I need to get something out of the closet. Liz is in the closet and it was just getting her hands ready, scared the crap out of me. I screamed, I scrumped, and I fell down.
It was so good.
And we just laughed for a good 5 minutes straight.
Well, I was playing the long game because I was like, if you guys know, you know, the Biltmore closets apparently are huge, okay?
Well, no, we somehow got a bigger room than I booked us for. So thank you, Biltmore.
Yeah.
That closet was not that big last year.
Okay,
massive.
Well, this one was big this year. Okay, so I was like, great, I could comfortably hide in here until the opportune moment to jump out. But what I was going to do is not even jump out. I was just going to take the tiny hands and creep them around the edge of the door to start freaking them out, right? Like out of nowhere. No, Ashley did not even give me a chance to. She just opened that door up, saw me. I wasn't even doing anything scary. I was just me in there.
Have you ever seen that Grinch reel where he's at the Universal Studios and he's standing behind the corner and he scares people and he's like, I was just standing here. I was like, so Liz, like, geez.
I'm like, I didn't even scare you yet. Why are you laying on the ground?
Oh, you did. I woke right up then. That's for sure. No Alani needed for that one.
That was a good time. Hey.
How was a favorite?
One of the best scares and was not even planned. So
yeah, totally.
You can't
script that out. As some of the best ones are.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we've covered that, because we had to make sure to include that.
I gotta give it its credit where credit's due. Good job scaring me, even if you didn't fully. You meant to, but you just weren't meaning to do it that way. So
yeah, exactly.
It still got the point across. Probably better, if you will.
Yeah, that's true. The only thing not better about it is that we weren't able to capture it because it was so candid. That was the only downside.
Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so last year we gave you guys our top 5 tips on, if you're new to BookCons, what you can do to make your life a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. And so we'll go ahead and share those again right now because I went through them when I was going over, what we talked about last year. And I was like, these are all still very relevant. However, now we have even more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're going to add to that list. We're going to build to the list. So you want to just go back and forth and share them, or do you want me to go over the old list? Okay.
Let's go back and forth.
So number 1, get there the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever your first event is that you are participating in, try to get there the night before, not the day of, because it really helps with the chaoticness of the whole situation.
If you've ever been on a cruise, think of it that way. I mean, in this case, the ship won't leave without you, but the party sure will. The party Cool. I mean, in this case, Fabled Fantasy took care of us for Thursday as well. So we didn't do that last year. I think for this particular event, going on Thursday was fine. Check-in was crazy at 3:00. We just went and ate and came back at 4.
Yeah, and it was no one, and it was
nobody.
Crickets. No one was there. Yeah.
So do you feel like that was fine? I thought that was fine getting there at that time because the first event wasn't until 8 or 9.
Well, and yes, I think that's fine. And depending on what tier of ticket you have as well, that may or may not even include the Thursday night.
Exactly.
Like party mixer, whatever you want to call it. We'll go over that in a little bit here. So that might be an opportunity for you to just check in, have some dinner, hang out, get situated, learn the lay of the land.
Learn the lay of the land. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually tip number 2.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Get a detailed lay of the land. I can't remember because Rescinda was kind of doing all this. Was there a map on the actual app?
Yes, but the Biltmore is extremely complicated.
Yeah.
So I felt like the map was kind of where the different ballrooms were, but I feel like they didn't show everything. Like it was when we were doing panels, because we wanted to figure out where the panels were, because they were different than last year. It took us a while and we had to ask around, but then those people are also trying to figure out where everything is also. So we definitely went in some back rooms.
And, we went on adventures
went on some adventures, but we were glad we did it because if that was a scheduled time, maybe for a ticketed author, they were in different areas than last year, you would be stressing. So at least get there the night before, depending on what time your first event is. So if you're in a ticket that is starting Saturday morning, I would say try to get there Friday at some point. And then know that the later you go into the weekend, there might be less accessible parking, because that's what we ran into last year we paid actually for the tiers, but we didn't go on Thursday night. So we went for our first ticketed author on Friday. We got there like an hour before, not enough time. Chaotic. So take a look at your schedule for whichever BookCon you're going to. And if you can swing it to go the night before to see your lay of the land, it would be best.
Yes. Well, that way the morning of, you can kind of just like get your coffee and have a snack and then like meander to wherever you're going. And, they had big like billboards of like the maps. So
yes, they did have that this year, which they didn't last year. Yeah. So it was a lot better.
If that's a possibility, go, and they're usually like wherever, like very nearby where you do check in and get your badges and all that kind of stuff. So like take pictures of those maps, because those will probably be the most useful to you when trying to navigate it. I feel like lots of times, like when we asked for directions, even the people that we were asking sometimes didn't know necessarily where we were supposed to go.
Sometimes people that worked at Biltmore, didn't really know which room was called what. Yeah. So it's a lot of people helping. There was another shout out to Fabled Fantasy, a lot more staff this year, more security, more volunteers. So that was good. But some of these people aren't working there all the time. So they still, especially that first day or two, they're figuring stuff out too. So it's kind of tricky. That's why it's best to try to get there. If you can't get there the night before, get there a little bit early so you don't have to feel rushed.
Yeah. Well, and it must be said too, like kind of what you were talking about before, depending on what BookCon you're going to, like it's going to be so different, like layout wise, like, but this hotel is a historic hotel. It's not a Hilton Convention Center. So it's like, it's very like, the best way to describe it is it's like, you feel like you're in the hotel in The Shining. Okay. Yeah. It's like, there's so many levels and there's, big rooms stashed away in areas you wouldn't necessarily even know ballrooms to be, and so it's there's staircases that are sometimes like, where does this even go to? And then you realize one of the, events is down there. So it's kind of a bit of a maze, and it might not be like that for every convention. Some of them might be way more straightforward if it's more of a modern hotel, but this one is historic, and that's the charm. I think that's what makes it special, but then at the same time, it makes it a little bit more difficult to navigate. Yeah.
And I do want to touch on the ADA as well and the accessibility, because that was a huge problem last year at the Biltmore Hotel. And I can't speak to the perfection of how everything was executed, but as just seeing what was in place this year versus last year, so many more ramps were in place, more access to the elevators, people manning the elevators for the accessibility elevators, where last year they're like literally hidden on the walls, guys.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
there's people manning it and looking to help people. So that was an improvement. Again, I can't speak on perfection of that, but it looked to be a lot more stepped up. So that is good that they are hearing the critiques that need to be made and they're following through with it. Because I think a lot of times we see companies go, oh yeah, sure. And then nothing
Not
happens.
make any changes.
So
Yeah,
I'm
for
very
sure.
glad that they're doing something about that. For
Agreed.
sure.
Agreed. Okay, so what do we have? What do we have next? Oh, okay. Bring snacks and provisions and some kind of streaming device.
Well, asterisk. Yeah.
yeah.
Snacks and provisions, of course. Stock
Yeah.
your fridge with Alani like we do. It's great.
Yeah.
You know? Hey.
It's awesome. But really, it just kind of depends on, like how close is your hotel going to be to food? Is it easy to just walk out on the street and get something? Or is it going to take a while? You know, for us, there wasn't a whole lot of food options in the hotel. Although this year, a restaurant in the hotel was open, whereas last year it was not.
Yeah, I felt like food was not at all last year. So this year the restaurant opened because it was under construction last year. And then they had other options too, like kiosks and stuff. And Lucinda went down and got a breakfast buffet. So way more options this year. However, expensive and limited depending on dietary restrictions. So we Uber Eats everything, but that can get pricey. So budget for food.
I mean,
Depending
but
where
then it
you
was
are.
nice also for us, you know, it's like we made sure that we had plenty of snacks in the room, energy drinks, like, all that kind of stuff. Water, we brought a case of water. So
Which
just
they do
having-
give out. And this time when we checked in, they let us know. Because last year we found out when we were leaving, they have water and like cookies, you know, for us. This time they let us know at check-in, come by anytime you need more bottled water.
Yeah.
So that's good to
That's
know.
nice.
It's a trek. It's not a trek. It's in the lobby, but it's another thing to have to do. That's why it's better to just have some bottles in the room. But it's definitely big improvements. Staff was friendly. Staff was great. So for that hotel. And then the Fire Stick / Apple TV, I did remember to bring this time. However, I couldn't get it to work on the TV.
Yeah.
But we were too busy anyways and ended up not coming. I think I finally got some. Well, the TV was improved since last year. So
I feel like consistently this has been a problem in like all hotels we've stayed in recently. Like I don't know what the deal is, but it's like all these hotels are upgrading their TVs to smart TVs, but then nothing works because there's so many. It's like there's so many people there using the internet that then everything is just impossible to use. So I don't know what the solution to that is. Be so excited to be out of your room doing stuff that you don't notice, I guess. Would be the
I
solution.
guess. But that's like one of our favorite things to do is put on stupid TV and, you know, eat pizza in bed. So, you know, if you're like us and you like to have that option and maybe you're not flying or something, or you have the storage for it in your suitcase, bring a little Fire Stick, Apple TV, and see if you could plug it in. They did have it at this hotel, but again, it was very not working great. So,
Yeah.
I
think in the past when we have watched stuff, we've had to just like watch it on my iPad. So
it's like, what is this TV for? A paperweight?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, what's
All right.
next?
Next one. Set those alarms for ticketed authors, panels, all those events that you need to basically make a reservation for, if you will, because they will sell out just as they did last year. This year, RomantasyCon was even more organized, but things still sold out within minutes.
Oh, totally.
Within minutes. So specifically set a time for your reservation for those whenever they come available early on at whatever BookCon you're doing, and then make sure you're setting that time aside and building it into your schedule for the day. And then with that said, you know, you have these different time slots. Utilize time, schedule in time for yourself to visit the different rooms with maybe smaller authors who aren't ticketed, or just different authors, different shops. It's kind of, I didn't even click to me until we were there doing it, but it's almost like, you know, a market at the same time, because you'll have other rooms with different authors and different bookshops that are selling and different types of booksellers and different merch.
I was talking to someone about it, and I guess they did it differently. So last year, we did not budget any time really to go around and just do shopping and like check out all the ballrooms with all of the other authors. We spent most of our time in ticketed author lines, which we'll talk about a little bit more here in a sec. But someone, I can't remember who mentioned this to me, but someone mentioned that what they had done this year was they intentionally mixed the artists and the makers with the author booth. So that has not always been the case.
Okay, I liked it a lot this year.
Me too. So now it would be like, here's some authors, but then here's, like character art and then a clothing boutique. And, like there would be like a mixture. And so it made it feel a lot more like a market, like you're saying. Whereas
market and like a good vibe, people meeting each other, people talking. So I know we only went like one time last year to just the authors area. And I know a big complaint was, you have your ticketed authors, which are like, 8 of them. And then all the other authors who are still, some of them are, big, as you say, like they're traditionally published and indie. And then, so some of the ones that are like the next step is going to be ticketed, they're having lines wrapping out into the hallways. And we still had 1 or 2 authors like that. But last year there'd be like one room where like, it's just who is in line for what and crazy. Yeah. So I think mixing the market style in there definitely helps accommodate for that. Some of those longer lines.
And it's just fun because then it's like, I know for me at an event like that, like I personally am always going to prioritize authors because that's why we're there, right? Like for me at least. But I know that for me, it's almost like at the end of the weekend, I could be like, dang, I didn't buy any character art because I like didn't take the time to actually go see it. Or I didn't buy any like, cute bookish teas or like merch because I didn't take the time to do that. And this time it would be like, oh, well, it's right there. So of course I'm going to go look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I feel like it gets a lot more eyes on the small shops too, which is really cool.
Ooh, that too.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah, I wonder, just curious, just spitballing here. I wonder how much better people's sales were this year because it's all intermingled.
Probably
for both sides, for book. And then I wish, maybe there is a better way, but some of the authors that we sought out, they weren't selling their books there. You have to go different places. And so that kind of makes it a little bit tricky. If like you're just some of us, we are discovering authors for the first time, we're watching them on panels and stuff. We're like, ooh, I want to go get their book. And okay, well, I met them, I went to their table, but now I have to go to Ripped Bodice upstairs to get the book. So maybe if there was a different way of finding out, I don't know how to solve that problem, but
yeah, I agree because it's like when you're roaming around, I know that there was a couple authors where, you'd have to go upstairs, buy their book and then bring it back down to their table to have it signed rather than, they didn't just have a table full of books that they could then sign and give to you. And I get it. Like maybe they don't want to be responsible for the retailing portion. But I feel like there needs to be like a little bit more of a streamlined way. Like maybe even if like the bookstore, quote unquote, which is essentially the Ripped Bodice doing a pop-up shop. Like maybe if that was closer, cause that's like upstairs and the rooms are downstairs.
Or if they had like a little room, like maybe just of the authors that are in that room, a small table with those ones that they could refill as needed.
Yeah.
Because that definitely prevented me from doing some of them because it's like, well, I'll just have to get it later so I don't have to schlep more stuff. Because the point would be buy it there, have it signed while we're talking and chatting.
Right. Totally.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was only one that I was like, I want to go out of my way to make sure that I go up and buy it and then have it signed later. But I could see how
and some were already sold out. Some were already sold out by Saturday afternoon, which good for them.
Yeah.
But be prepared for that. Yeah. There's lots of selling out, not sellouts. Yeah.
Okay, so then the last thing that we wanted to reiterate from last year that we think is still very relevant, bring trinkets and treasures to trade.
Yeah,
it's
for
fun.
Sure.
It's a fun, good time. It's just like, it's very summer camp, nostalgia.
Yeah.
But
so
the
cute.
Updated version,
Yeah.
Bookmarks, stickers, candies, whatever. That was really fun. And it's a great way to like network, not just for people like, who are there in a media capacity or social media capacity like us, but, if you just want more book friends in general.
Yeah. That's literally how we met Jennifer last year. Shout out Jennifer. What's up, girl? Sorry we missed you at the ball. Sorry we missed the ball. Sorry we dropped the ball at the ball. But that's how we met her last year. We're just sitting at a table. She's like, here, you guys want some bookmarks? We're like, great. And then, hello.
Yep. So fun.
Crow besties ever since. It's
Crow
great. So it's a good,
besties.
like, especially if you kind of are like us where that first socialization can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes it's a nice little gateway. And see if they take the bait, you know, see if it gets the conversation going. If it doesn't, hey, you made a cute trinket friend, you know, and it can end at that. But, you know, it's just like an olive branch, but not because you guys had issues.
Yeah, it's an icebreaker, you know?
Icebreaker. There we go.
Yeah.
Good icebreaker. For sure.
Okay, so let's add to the list. Now that this is our second BookCon, we have a little bit of a different perspective also. So I'll just kick it off and we can go back and forth. Okay, so stay at the hotel itself. Like, we know that this is not an option for everyone, for sure. But we will say that, you know, both years we were surprised at the affordability of booking within the room block that RomantasyCon reserves. So do know that, because we were expecting it to be a lot pricier than it actually was, which was great. And if you can stay at the hotel itself, it just makes everything else just more streamlined, because you can literally...
You can drop stuff off in your room if you get too weighed down.
Literally.
You can go lay down if you get too weighed down.
You can set stuff down and you can lay down. Basically, that's
We went back so much. We took so many breaks. We would need to, because there's not a lot of places to just sit and chill.
Yeah.
So know that.
I would definitely say that's one of the things that I would say. I don't have many critiques, because I feel like for the most part it's a good time, but it would be nice if there was more areas in the hotel where you could just like pick up your lunch from Uber Eats and then just like sit there and eat it.
In their defense, I do think they had that this year, but we didn't realize till later. There was like the quiet room area, but sometimes they would have stuff going on in those rooms.
Yeah.
So they weren't always accessible. And then upstairs near where they're tattooing, they had a quiet room. But what if it's full? Because it was like literally such a small room with a few couches. So yeah, definitely know your personality, know your energy levels going into it. If you're going to stay off property, it might be more of a trek. I mean, we did have some friends that stayed off property and they liked that hotel too, but they didn't feel like, you know, they're like, gosh, I want to go and take a nap. But it's like, I got to go across the street over here, and that's going to take out another half an hour of travel time, you know, just walking. So... Yeah, definitely recommend.
Well, it just helps you maximize your time as well, like you just said, you know, because then it's like if you do want to rest or take a nap or get ready or whatever, it eliminates that travel time. You don't have to be confined by, like, I know for us, like, like how late do I want to stay out? You know what I mean? Like, you kind of don't have, you can put those things out of your mind. You know, because you're just like, oh, okay, well, I just can go back upstairs.
Well, think about if you're Ubering to a different hotel, how much money is that going to cost versus just staying on property? So all those things to consider and add up in your total cost, for sure. Yeah. Okay. And we talked about in the last section, but set your alarms and sign up for things ahead of time. You know, some things will be changed during, so make sure that you have your app notifications on, or whatever BookCon that you're going to is utilizing to let you know of changes, but set alarms for everything. I live my life by alarms, or you're going to miss it.
Otherwise, you'll never remember anything. Either will I.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, unless you're just sharp as a tack, then
share your
soar
ways.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing. Bring books to get signed. So, you know, it depends on what your priorities are. If you've already pre-ordered things, if you're picking stuff up to get signed, whatever. But what if you have, I did this last year, what if one of your favorite authors is there and you already have the special editions that you love and treasure so much? Bring those. It is not in bad form or bad taste to bring your special editions, to bring your books from home, and have the author sign those. Like, they have tons of stuff for you to buy there. You can if you want to, but not necessary if you already have stuff. So as long as you have a way to transport it, bring it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And some of the authors that weren't selling books there, you know, they had their quick links so you could order and ship it to your house too if you're traveling, or if they were sold out. So, yep. Shop early if there's something that you want specifically, because things sell out. Definitely. Like we said, books were selling out super fast. A couple of t-shirts. A lot of the t-shirts, I would say, most of the sizes sold out because they're not going to carry their entire inventory. No. And of course, you can get it online, but then you're going to have to pay for shipping. So if there's something that you really want, treat it like you go to TJ Maxx and Ross. If you see it, you want it, get it.
Yeah.
What we did this time, And it might not be the best way to do it. It just depends on what you need. I'm somebody who I need to marinate on things. I don't like doing impulse purchases. So markets aren't the best place for me because I definitely overthink things. So for what we did is on Friday, we did our perusal around all the rooms. We made sure to stop by some of our friends' booths and met some authors that we were going to do on the panel. And so we did our lay of the land, and I got some ideas of the things that I wanted. And I'm glad that I did that. However, things do sell out. So I did have to miss on some. You have to be okay. Are you okay with missing out on some of the items that you want selling out? And if you are okay, then you can do it this way, right?
Yeah. We
did our perusal. Lucinda bought some stuff. I don't know if you bought anything that first time.
I don't think so.
And then on Saturday, we went back after our last panel that we were scheduled to do. We went and did our purchases and bought things. But at that point, it's not so much, but some of the stuff already sold out. Yeah. So
well, and I know
just keep it in mind.
It's like, yeah, I know that I can go online and I can like buy this stuff whenever I want to, but sometimes it's nice to just be able to go and get it in person and have it there and have it be part of like the memory of going to BookCon. It's not the same as like ordering it and then just like getting it in the mail at your house. You know, it's if you have, the room and space to be able to cart it all home. It's fun. So yeah, just make sure to keep that in mind to plan accordingly for sure.
Yeah.
So that takes us into our next tip, which is plan a way to get everything home. I know it's hard. A lot of people fly to these things like me. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I already had 2 bags because I've got podcast stuff and then I've got my regular stuff, Disney stuff. And so, I was really lucky that Rosinda is a very responsible underpacker.
Yeah.
And so she was able to basically bring an additional suitcase to tote all of our books and extras back home, which was great. But yeah, make sure to keep that in consideration with the amount of stuff that you are buying. So bring an extra suitcase or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're
because
flying.
or else we were going to have to ship Liz's and Rosinda's stuff in a box, and that costs a lot more than a $30 checked bag.
More than the stuff.
Yeah, or an overage fee, of $150. Like you were like, dude, I can fit it in, but it's going to go overweight.
Yeah.
So definitely be prepared. You're going to take home more than you think you are. Even if you're just getting a, swag bag from the ticket.
Yeah.
Some of those were heavy.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely keep them in mind. So if you're traveling. We saw somebody bought, I want to say 90 books. Then I found out, first of all, I was like, holy smokes. But then I found out she just built her home library. So she went there with the intention to fill it, which is awesome.
That's so cool.
Such a great way to do that. Supported so many indie authors as well as Trad.
Yeah.
And so cool. How she ended up getting home still, I don't know. But she did it because I saw her home library.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When there's a will, there is a way. But yeah, definitely bring something because you're coming home with stuff, okay?
Well, and that's the thing, too. Some people are able to just drive there. I forget. You know what I mean? It is in LA. It's like a lot of people are able to just drive there, and don't have to take into account the flying piece, So there's that.
The 90 books lady did have to fly.
Oh,
but
my God.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Because I'm just like, dude, books are heavy. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I got to reach out to her and answer.
Yeah.
Get that question answered. How'd you do it, man? How'd you do it?
Share with us your ways.
$500,000 later.
I know, right? That's the thing is I don't mind spending the money on the books and supporting these authors, but the shipping or the flight, luggage costs, it's like I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I think the Disney analogy is great. If any of you guys, I'm sure lots of you guys have been there. It's just you go, you repeat it, you figure out what works and what doesn't work, you formulate a plan. That'll just make you more efficient.
You know how you can be so, people, but me specifically I'm talking about, I can be so smart and so stupid at the same time.
I think that's everybody.
It wasn't until, this is my second BookCon, but I'm so used to calling it BookCon that I forget that it's shortened to convention. And that I'm not a convention lady because again, I can't buy stuff on the spot. I got to think about it. I'm not good. I like a good farmer's market, but I'm not great with conversation. I kind of just am a looker. I'm a lurker and a looker. And then I come back around a second time. So then I'm like, oh, it's set up like a convention. Yeah. Okay, great. So it's a convention, guys. So
remember that.
I think it was, but I do think part of that was because last year it was set up so differently. It was very author forward, which is ideal, right? But then having the mix in is like the perfect balance.
Yeah.
So this is perfect for me. I think that is more how conventions are. So hey, just give me a minute, 5 to 10 business days. It'll click for me. So there we go.
Yeah.
That clicked.
So, all right, let's just talk about what we did. What did we do?
What did we do? It's only been a week and I miss it so much.
Literally, I know. So, all right, let's just start. We'll just do chronologically because that seems to make sense.
Yeah. No, we'll do it Instagram version just by random. No reason.
Enjoy.
We'll bring in SpongeBob reel for no reason. Okay, great.
So, all right. So we got there Thursday. Thursday night was the Silk and Shadow Affair, aka the Vampire Mixer and Downstairs Party, right? No, that one was upstairs. That was on like...
The vampire was upstairs.
Yeah.
And the extra party was downstairs.
Okay, that's
not
what I was
extra party. It was different ticket levels.
Yeah.
Ticketed levels. So as media, we are given the ticket level to be able to do the upstairs vampire ball. So we figured we should rise to the occasion like the undead out of our coffins. And we went. And it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was cool. All the fondue that looked like blood. That'll stand out in my brain for a while, for sure.
So there was little treats there. We didn't get anything to drink, but there was a drink station. I think our ticket would have come with a free drink ticket. Liz doesn't drink, and I will only occasionally have something here or there.
Yeah.
So
and Lucinda doesn't drink either, so they were wasted on us. We should have given them.
Yeah, you could have gotten soda. I know. We didn't even go through our bags yet though until later. Yeah. So you can get sodas and things like other refreshments as well. But they did have the dessert station, which was included. That was super cool, fondue, and they had a DJ and fun. And I love so much about these book cons, and one of it is that everybody is so nice, and we're all just a like-minded community, just feeling the vibe, having the fun. You feel like you're in a safe space of just similarities with other people too. You don't have a bunch of creeps walking around. I'm sure some book cons unfortunately do have that, but as far as our experience at RomantasyCon so far, it's been positive.
Yeah, for
all
sure.
around.
For sure.
So we can dance and be free without worried that somebody's going to come up and freaking gyrate on us, you know? So that's nice. That's refreshing. And then you get to look at everybody's costumes or even just daily outfits.
Yeah.
It's just, and everybody's throwing compliments around because everybody's so freaking cute, and it's just so fun. And we met so many people that way, and it's just such a vibe.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
It was a great way to just like start the weekend, like kick off the weekend, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely enjoyed that. So that's how we spent Thursday night.
And then we went downstairs to the karaoke party. That was so fun.
That was super fun. Yeah.
We only did 3 songs because it was the end of it, and it was like I could have done that all night. It was so fun. It was it wasn't just somebody going up on stage and only singing. It was a whole group effort at that point. You know? For sure. And it was mics getting passed. So fun. We heard great things about the Minotaur riding. So like bull riding, they call it Minotaur. Yeah. And they had like other little areas that we didn't check out, but there was a lot to do for sure. And people going up and down stairs that were different ticket levels. And it's just so fun. Yeah. Like you said, a great way to start the weekend.
Yeah. It was the energy at the karaoke was also hilarious and fun. That was a good time.
Yeah.
That sticks out to me for sure. Mm-hmm. So then Friday, what did we do Friday, Ashley?
We did our first panel, Gothica.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we did a panel with 4 authors. So we'll go ahead and give the authors a shout out because I feel like we should, and they're all amazing. And it was basically a panel about how these authors were mixing romantasy elements with horror elements or gothic elements. So obviously that's totally up our alley right now. See our obsession into Wuthering Heights. So that was very like tangentially related to that, which was cool. And it was a way for us to, just get to know some authors. So we had Bea Northwick. And so her book that she's talking about right now is Black Wicket. So go check that out. Erin A. Craig. So her new book is The Land So Wide, but a lot of you guys probably know her from...
A House of Salt and Sorrow, A House of Root and Ruin.
Yeah. I'm like, I have it sitting right there. Autumn Kraus, her release that she was talking about is Grave Flowers. And then, of course, the lovely Kaylie Smith, who we all know and love from Phantasma and Enchantra, with the third one in that series coming soon. So we got to interview all 4 of them about, like how they, create these characters who are spooky and problematic, but who we still love, and how you can use devices in, like, literary devices in horror and to kind of evoke dread or to mirror things that we find to be scary in real life, which I thought was a really cool discussion. Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah, very cool.
So
very cool.
Then what else did we do after we did the Gothica panel later on that
evening?
evening?
Hang on. With the panels, too, the rooms were changed this year, and the seating was different. Last year, we had Knights of the Round Table styles, if you will, a bunch of tables. This way was traditional seating. And then we found out, luckily, after, thanks, Lucinda, for not telling us, that there were actual camera monitors for the farther back seating. So they had 2 large monitors about halfway through. So in case, the vantage point wasn't great, you can see it. I'm glad I didn't have to think about that while doing it.
It was very, like, traditional, like, panel, table, stage at the front, and then just, like, rows and rows and rows and rows of chairs back. So, that was great for those people farther back to actually be able to see and hear. I mean, honestly, I know that I don't know if we've mentioned it on this episode yet, though, but the tech people.
Oh, my gosh. You know how you go to, anything with a microphone? Sometimes you get the squeaky, crazy. No. This team had it locked down. I wish I got their business card because they were incredible.
Dialed.
The mics were perfection. They were watching and ready to turn our mics on when the time started, the little thumbs up. They had music playing ahead of time. They had it dialed in. And the mics were incredible where you didn't have to be like, well, first of all, you didn't have to hold it, which is great. And you didn't have to be like right up on it. It got you. It's perfect. It was dialed, like you said, perfection. And the sound, as far as I'm concerned, what I heard, watching other people's panels, from hearing from ours, everything was perfect. So that's great.
Yeah. Oh, that was another thing that we did that day is we did go and watch the folklore and fantasy panel, right? That was that day? Yeah. So that was really cool. And that was, literally.
That was hosted by one of the authors because the interviewee didn't show up. The moderator didn't show. Yeah,
that's right.
So they had something happen with the moderator. We don't know nothing about anything, but author took over and did that, and she did such a good job. Oh my gosh, so good.
Literally,
such a fun panel too. So yeah.
And then I'm mixing everything together in my head because I feel like everything was like such a blur. But we did some vendors and authors that day, and then we went back for the Dragon Race. And the cosplay contest. We watched a little bit of the cosplay contest just from like being in the right place at the right time, which was really cool. Super cool.
Yep. And then we got to do the Dragon Race, which was fun, and met some fun people during that time too. You guys killed it. So the Dragon Race, we were picturing, because we didn't know too much going into hosting that one. The Dragon Race being like, those Halloween suits where it like blows it up. I guess that wouldn't make sense because a lot of people couldn't do it. But no, it was 4 like pool floaty dragons, and anybody can do it. And it was just like 4 at a time, go, go, go. And that went on for about 30 minutes. And we just were our silly, goofy selves yelling and interviewing people real quick and making it fun. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it if you were there. And let a silly time. And then what did we do?
Then we went and watched Wuthering Heights again because we were like, well, how
that might have done it. That might have done it for me in the exhaustion realm. I was thinking about that recently. I was like, dude, I can't believe we did that after all that.
After that long day. Yeah, because hosted a panel, did the Dragon Race. And then afterwards, because we're actually in, because where I live, it's like the latest movie you could go see is usually still pretty early, but it's like we're in the city, so we could go see a movie at 9:45 at night or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that is what we did. And honestly, no regrets because Lucinda hadn't seen it yet. So she got to experience it for the first time.
We were trying to see 6, the musical, but it just didn't work out with the timing and everything. And so we were like, well, we could see Wuthering Heights night because other than those couple little things, there was nothing like major. There was no ball or anything that night. So there was events and stuff, but we're like, we kind of want to chill. And then we're like, well, Liz, we needed to do some stuff. So Liz is like, well, if I do it, will you guys go see Wuthering Heights? We're like, okay, fine. So then we did it, and it was great. We had a great time. And then we stayed up probably way past our bedtime talking about it. I cried like a baby again, harder than the first time. So
I was cracking myself up because like one of those moments that I had forgot happened, and then I remembered it and told my husband about it and like laughed about it all over again. Okay, so we went to go see Wuthering Heights, you know, also after dark, right? So
yeah, and that was hard. That was hard to do.
And, you know, be safe, guys. We Ubered everywhere. Don't, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have like a tiny, you know, like crossbody, like Lululemon bag or whatever that just fits like the bare mins. Well, of course, I had stuffed it full of Reese's peanut butter cups.
God. I forgot about that too.
Like, okay, like literally full. And they're the actual Reese's brand because they didn't have Justin's. So they're in the bright orange packaging. And they're, I mean, it's full to the brim, right? Okay. So I've got it. Because I even told Ashley, I said, like, you know, are you paying with your phone? Because I can't open my purse. Otherwise, all these Reese's will fall out, basically. Like, it's like, and I will be guilty, right? Okay, well, what we don't realize is that they have security at this movie theater. So they're going to check all of our bags when we go in. So this guy, like, I have to open my purse, and I open my purse, and he looks inside, and it's just full of all these Reese's peanut butter cups. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I look so guilty, and he's just like, okay. And, like, didn't say anything. Like, he could just tell, like, dude, I don't care. I'm just the security guy.
Like, he just wants to make sure you don't have weapons, and you're like, oh,
I'm sorry.
I got caught. It's like freaking blowing up Reese's everywhere.
So that cracked me up. I was like, oh, what a time to be alive. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
I'll remember that one forever as well. So good times.
That was such a good time. Such a good time.
Okay. So then Saturday.
So Saturday we did, first of all, we set our alarms hard when we got home from Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
Set our alarm hard because we had a 9:30, which doesn't sound early, but it is when we're up till 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, I know for me, in order for me to, because my brain does not wake up quickly. Like, let's say, you know, I have a very social job. Usually I have to start, you know, consistently talking to people maybe around like 9 or 9:30 in the morning. I typically will wake up around 5, 6 at the latest because I'm like, I need several hours to like get my brain in the right headspace to be like that social. And so that's another thing is like, I need to wake up kind of early and like slowly wake up and like have coffee and like, you know, do all the things. So
like we literally have to host a panel. We can't just be like, we're just wandering around waking up. Totally. It's like, we got to freaking go.
We got to be ready. Yeah.
Be on.
Yeah. Be on. And so, but I also function a lot better in the morning, that being said. So that was good. So we hosted the Do You Believe in Magic panel. So that was about mostly like, world building and magic systems and high fantasy. So that was really cool. And so that one included M.M. Parks, her new release, or newest release that I picked up at BookCon is The Knowing Witch. We also had Adalyn Grace on our panel, which she's known the best for her Belladonna series. Laura Thalassa, her Bewitched series is, I think, what's kind of like newer and popular now, but a lot of you guys know her from book club and her Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse series as well. And then J.D. Evans, and her book that she was promoting was part of her Reign and Ruin series, which I haven't read that series yet, but it looks really good. Like really good. So that was really exciting. Getting to talk to all
such
those
a good deep dive discussion about world building and what they do to build up these characters, magic systems, their worlds, and so insightful and a great look behind the scenes of what goes on to build all that. Because it's like a lot of logistics.
Dude, really.
It's hard to read it. Can you imagine writing it?
Yeah,
Woo!
I know.
Yeah.
Seriously. So that was great. Yeah, I love talking to authors, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't do this. Love talking to authors and just peeking behind the curtain, and I feel like every single person was just had so many interesting things to say, and so what a treat and a treasure. Then we popped in to watch some of the live podcasts with Banter and Bookmarks. So that was exciting.
So cool.
So they were interviewing about Direbound, which is Sable Sorensen. And so that was exciting too, just to be able to yeah, again, just kind of like peek behind the curtain and see like what, another podcast is kind of like doing and what their style is and all that kind of stuff too. Mm-hmm. That was fun.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, super cool. And we did see one of their panels too that they were hosting. It might have been the day before, and they did such an amazing job. Yeah. So shout out to Banter and Bookmarks. They did so good. Amazing. They are 3 of them that host their podcast. They just had one of them hosting that panel. And again, such an amazing job. So funny. We saw a lot. We were able to not meet, but like see so many amazing authors and then later meet them because they were such a vibe or we connected with them in some way and went and sought them out to meet them because, hey, add it to the list of books to read. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
We can never have too many.
No. Mm-hmm.
So we did that and then we wandered and shopped. And then we had, so let's just paint the picture for you guys, okay? We go to Wuthering Heights at 9:40 at night. We get back to the hotel at probably midnight?
Yeah,
we're probably up until 2:00 because we're just girls. We're gonna have fun.
And another thing.
So up till 2. Then we got to be up at 7:30 because we're hosting this author panel at 9:30. And then we spend the day popping into the live podcast, walking around to all the rooms, doing our shopping, and then we're like, sure. We're going to film our 100th episode, which is our, sleepover episode. And then we're going to go to the ball. At that point,
though, before, we were so exhausted on all fronts. Like doing the airport signal hands. Like, Mayday, Mayday. We're literally all laying in bed. We hadn't gotten dinner. Our eating schedule's weird too because because it's not accessible. And then when you have nerves, I don't get hungry if I have nerves at play at all or if I'm tired. So we're all in bed, just kind of figuring out where the night's gonna take us, but we want to go to this ball. But then I am like, Liz, we literally don't have an episode for Tuesday. And because Liz was visiting, it was originally she was coming for 2 weeks, and then we got invited to RomantasyCon. So it changed the plan. When she comes down to film, we usually try to get 6 or 8 episodes in. Well, we were Wuthering Heights kind of took the wheel on that one too, because hey, that turned into 2 4-hour episodes. So that's part of it. But we didn't have anything ready yet. And we don't like to miss our uploads. And also for me personally, it has always been a goal of mine, so we could check that off this list this year, is to film in a hotel room because it's one of our favorite things. It's casual, it's fun. So I'm like, guys, if we can motivate ourselves, we literally just have to sit there and chill. It's going to be funny. We're doing it anyways. We might as well film ourselves and make a game out of it and celebrate our 100th episode. Mm-hmm. And I forced them, and it was great.
I was like, if we film this 100th episode, we're not going to the ball. If we're going to the ball, then we're not going to do that. But I knew it was going to end up being one or the other because it just seemed impossible to me to do both.
I'm delusional, though. You should know that about me.
That's what happened. It's
fine. We'll be able to do both. It's fine.
I'm like, there ain't no way, but I'm glad that you think that. We did film that. That was so fun and hilarious. But then, by the time we were done filming that, we had also ordered food from this great Italian place that we like. And we're like, okay, so now we've filmed this, we're now
full of pasta.
There's no way. Because it was already late by that point too. Probably nearing 9 or 10 o'clock at night. What are we going to do? Get ready and then go down there for 2 hours? I don't know.
Yeah, in a perfect world, if I could replan it, it would change what it was, though, is we would have gotten ready. And I would have had the filming equipment set up. We could film that real quick and then go downstairs and we would have had time.
And we would have been motivated because we're already ready.
Because it's the being ready part.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Because we're getting ready for a ball. It's not I could go out there. I mean, and we did last year. We went out there in sweatpants, but it's different, So that's the big night that everybody's dressed up. So we had special outfits that we had all ready to go, which we can use in the next one. So no big deal
there. I have no regrets, and I'm excited that now I don't have to think at all about my next night when we do a ball.
Me too.
Me too. It's already done. Great.
Well, and mine was rushed in a way. I didn't have all the pieces that I wanted, so I'm like, okay, I can use this all again and make it even better and not feel rushed. Mm-hmm. I mean,
well, and the thing is, it's I was going as more from ACOTAR, and now we have 2 more ACOTAR releases, so it might even be better to dress up like her next year. like, or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And my blonde hair will be longer. Like, listen, I'm looking at the silver lining. I'm excited to like build on this costume. I think it'll be great. It'll be great.
The thing that made us the most sad is not being able to come see some of you guys, you
Yeah.
know, that we were specifically going to hang out with, and we died. We died.
But
So,
honestly, I
we're
think
so sorry.
everyone like understands, because everyone was
Yeah.
like, we were all dead too. Or like, we went to the ball, but we hung out for 10 minutes and then left,
Yeah.
you know?
And
Yeah.
it just, yeah, at that point, it's like, yeah, it's going to take us an hour to get ready. And I think it would have been like, what, 30 minutes left? And at that point, most people are already gone anyways, or, you know,
Wrapping
just
it
different,
up. Yeah.
Different. Yeah. So I'm so sorry. We dropped the ball on the ball. The next time, now that I got the episode in the room out of the way, that I won't force it down Liz's throat again.
No,
but
I
I
think-
want to do it again because it was so fun.
I was going to say, now, it's not that I didn't want to do it. It's that I saw all the things that we wanted to do that day. And I was
yeah.
like, I don't see this as being realistic. So I think in the
Yeah.
future, like, we just have to plan it differently, because then we can do both. Because it's not that I don't want
Yeah.
to do it. You know what I mean? So we just need to figure it out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, so should we just call out some of our besties in the wild? Some of the ladies that we got to meet / see at BookCon. So exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've already called out Jennifer, Books with Roke, if you don't already follow her. And we met her last year, but it's just so fun to be able to be like, we met at BookCon and here we are again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's part of book club, which is awesome. Also got to meet our friend Sarah at Save by Stacks, who was one of my first Bookstagram friends. Finally got to meet her in person. Also, same with Brooke over at Brooke Ends. She was probably one of the first people that I actually really socialized with on Bookstagram, probably 3 years ago, and getting to meet her in person. She was there PAing for Lindsay over at Oxford Lemon, Lindsay Straube, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a cool, it's like I've kind of, the way I've described it in the past is like, it's like meeting your like longtime pen pal finally in person.
Yeah. So cool.
It's so cool. So yeah, we got to meet all those ladies. So exciting. And we got to meet the ladies of the Fantastic Pod, which was really cool too. So that was neat.
It's kind of trippy, like when you get there and you recognize people and sometimes can't place them, or
totally.
you know, it's just you're coming off the page, you know, as it were. So it's trippy. Or it's like you can't place them yet. It's like, are they an author? Are they an Instagrammer? Like, are they in our book club? Like, where am I placing them? So it's super fun, super cool.
Well, that's how I felt about like having Parks on our one of our panels, because you know, shout out to her. She comments on a lot of our content, and so it was so fun to be able to be like, you're the Parks, like, and now you're sitting right here next to me, and we get to ask you questions about your books. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Yeah.
Well, full circle moments at these things for sure.
And then just a quick little shout out to, they weren't there, but they were there in spirit. Down the Bond Official sent us our, you know, our flamey customized Blackbeak and Fireheart tees and our impressive Wingspan tees. So if you saw us floating around in those, go give them a follow at Down the Bond Official.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with the shirts. They're so fun. So cool.
Fun. So fun. So cute. Officially licensed merch. So awesome stuff.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. All right. So we have some little tidbits of advice for anybody else who might be a part of a media team for a book convention now that we've done one as a media team. So the biggest thing, check out your rooms that you'll be paneling in, getting a feel of the land, you know, again, where are you going to be hosting it? That way you don't have to find out the second of, you know?
I know it helps put my brain at ease just to be like, okay, we know where it is, so we know how to find it, first of all, especially if you're in a place like the Biltmore, which is a maze. So there's that. But then there's also, like, it helps me wrap my head around, like, this is how big the room is. This is how many people, you know, these are where the mics are. This is how big the table is. This is where me and Ashley are going to sit. It kind of just helps you to visualize everything so that you can focus more on the other stuff once you're there and it's actually happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'd be curious to know this if I am listening out there right now. Hey, were you nervous, Liz?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we were nervous. Of course. It's our first official panel live in person. You know, we've been nervous with some author interviews and things like that. You know, now we have our wheels well oiled, so not as much, and it's just, you know, human nature. So, but doing some things to help appease some of those nerves just helps get it out of the way. So for us, a big thing was seeing those rooms, setting up. We did a couple little practice runs, not full through, but just to like help it feel natural so that we don't have to like deal with the extra nerves, you know? So anything that you could do to help with that. If you're somebody, put it this way, if you're somebody that likes to know where parking is before going to an event, you might want to try finding out the lay of the land, or watching videos of previous panels, like doing things like that just to help get a sense of what is going to be going on. So with that said, not only map your questions, which, you know, Liz is our amazing scripter, map maker, if you will.
Map maker.
And structure your interview. Also, make sure you have bonus questions just in case, because we saw this happen. So we were prepared from last year's panels that we watched. Some authors or interviewees, and even with our author interviews that we currently do, they are quick to answer. They are straightforward, quick to the point. They have a small thing they want to say. And some are more talked out.
It just kind of depends on the person, right? It's like some authors are, you know, have done a zillion panels in their day. Like, we'll just use Laura Thalassa as an example, right? Like, she's written a zillion books. She seems very comfortable in front of the mic, and has a lot of really interesting things to say and feels comfortable saying them. Whereas I feel like, you know, some authors, maybe it's the first panel they've ever done. And, you know, they're a little bit more nervous, or maybe like they don't have a whole lot to say about that one particular question that we asked, right? So it's like sometimes a topic can be, very well, you know, fleshed out, and we can talk about it for 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes everyone just answers boom, 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 and it took 3 minutes.
Yeah. So having that flexibility, and I felt like for our 2 panels that we did, we had both situations and we were prepared for it. And we appreciate so much those of you who are able to come up to us and give us feedback on those panels. And it seemed like you guys really enjoyed the way they were structured. So thank you, because that's super encouraging to know that we're on the right track and you guys enjoyed the way we had that flow. We were able to build in time to take some audience questions, at least for one of the panels. So that was great. And it was having everything structured out, necessary.
Well, and I think that the authors appreciated it too, because, you know, we just ahead of time gave a little rundown like, hey, this is the order that we're going to go in for answering. That way everyone gets their moment, but no one is really put on the spot. And I think that they appreciate that, because then it doesn't feel chaotic. Like, it's not like a free-for-all. Like, whoever wants to answer this question, just jump on in. And it can feel like some people who maybe have a little bit of a quieter voice can get overlooked. Or people who don't like being put on the spot might, like, kind of not like that. And so it was a good way to keep things rolling and keep it organized. And I think that as listeners, we got feedback that you enjoyed that, because you got to hear from everyone in a concise way. And the authors like that because of all the reasons I already said. So I think that was really good too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it sounded like we got feedback from the authors as well, and they liked that structure, you know, how we told them ahead of time, this is what to expect on who's answering next, because it's less, jump scare.
Less jump scary. Yeah, right. It's like that whole, like, all of us
because, you know, I'm sure authors get nervous too. You know, like you said, sometimes it's their first. Sometimes Adele, doesn't she still get nervous going up there and singing?
I can't even imagine, but I'm sure. Yeah.
But like, literally, you know, so everybody's human and we're all real. And sometimes knowing what you can know can help, I think.
Yeah, like not having to be like, understanding that you can't have full control over a situation, but you can control certain things.
Yeah.
Like if you have
and as moderators, we're responsible for a level of that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You know, which brings me to my next thing. As best as you can, know your authors ahead of time. So we did go around and meet some people that we could meet before the panels, which was great.
And it definitely helped a lot.
Yeah, just to alleviate some of the stress and just to kind of touch base and be like, hey, what's up? Like, we're just regular people. You're a regular person. Like, we're just going to go up there and talk. It kind of like helps with the nerves a little bit. And then, you know, I put a doc together ahead of BookCon that had every author, you know, what their new release is going to be, like what their most popular release is, their bio, their Instagram handle. Like that way, you know, between Ashley and myself and Rescinda, we could go in and make sure that we had at least like a cursory knowledge of, you know, every author that was on our panel, even if we hadn't had the opportunity at that point to read, you know, a bunch of books from them or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think that was useful too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and the next thing that we recommend is don't overload your plate. Because as much as we did, we still built in downtime because that's just our personalities. We need that downtime to recoup. So pretty much after every panel, we stayed around for a little bit, like maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then we went upstairs to recuperate, kind of freshen up, have a little snack, and then go back down. So we needed that. So if that's something that you need, make sure you do that because it is a lot of socializing.
Yeah, I mean, it is, as you say, a convention.
Yeah. What a surprise.
What a surprise.
I mean, this is for the people that are going to be doing media or hosting or influencers out there. Obviously, if you're a reader listening to this, that's a attendee. Socializing, it's going to be optional, you know, so take it as you were. If you're somebody that's like, whoa, I don't want to be socializing, that's cool. You don't need to, you know? Yeah. So
but it's
you can choose your adventure for that. But if you're going out there as, you know, an invited media team, it is expected. And we love it. Like, it's great, you know, and that's for us why we knew to have an assistant there, because for us, that's what we need. Someone to manage that part for us so we can focus on the socializing and no problem there. And it was great. So great meeting you guys out there.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our last point too. If you can, and they will let you, bring an assistant.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, we were kind of like tossing the idea around before we posed it to, you know, the wonderful ladies at Fabled Fantasy. And, you know, we're kind of like, would it be necessary? Would it be beneficial? Okay, we will tell you with 1,000 billion% certainty, yes, it is all of those things and more. You know, if you can and are able and have someone who you can depend on in that way, bring someone with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Rue. Once again, you saved our lives.
Seriously. Like, so much we wouldn't have been capable of doing because you can't be everywhere at once too.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you need to know. She would pull up on the phone for us, like, where's this location, you know? And just little things that you might not think about and you're like, oh, I can handle it. It's like, well, you can, but are you going to do it at the level that you might actually be able to do it at a higher level if you have somebody there to help you guys out? Well, especially with just picture taking. Yeah. You know?
Totally. She's the logistical brain so that we can have the, you know, artistical brain. Like, you know what I mean? But it's true. And the social brain. It's like, you know, I know that for me, I don't have the social capacity if I also am trying to figure out, you know, where we're going, where's the phone, where's my badge, you know what I mean? It's like, if I'm trying to do all those other things, then I lose the capability to be able to be social because my battery gets drained so much faster. Yeah. And so having her do all that stuff behind the scenes was like, okay, all I have to worry about is like meeting these people and like chatting right now, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
So,
so glad. So glad we had her.
I know, right? It's like so grateful.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry again. Thank you, Rosinda.
She's like,
we always joke that like
Liz and I, it's great.
I know. Oh yeah, she's great, and it's great because we have a friend that we know, you know, can also be like such a good assistant and wear that hat at the same time that we're having fun. Yeah. That's like so special as well.
So you need
you know,
quality.
A unicorn. Yeah. Liz and I always have joked since high school, like we're two halves of a brain and we equal one brain. Well, Rosinda, she's also the whole brain, or she has the brains in her hand. She's holding our brains, saying, "Here, guys, let me guide you. Make sure this gets done. Thank you." Yes, beautiful. It's a beautiful, creepy thing. Yeah, Frankenstein.
It was perfect. Frankenstein. Yeah, piece us all together. We make one person.
Yeah, exactly.
So what we need to know from you guys, okay? Because we really want to do, obviously, more book cons in the future. We want to attend them. We want to participate in them. Like, we have goals for the future of in what capacity. What cons should we attend? What book cons have you guys gone to that you loved, that you felt were organized well, that you felt, you know, were executed well, that were fun, but also functioned smoothly? I feel like it's like we're looking, because that's what we've experienced, you know, with Fabled Fantasy, and I think that that's what we're looking for too, is that kind of really nice you know, balance of fun, fun and organization, because rules are fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Liz Lemon or something.
Yeah. And it's also Monica, right? It's like that energy. Yeah. It's like we want to have fun, but at the same time, we do appreciate the organization and how everything is flowing. And so, let us know like what cons, it doesn't matter. They could be like anywhere in the US. Send them our way. We want to know so that we can start kind of compiling a list of ones that we might want to attend or participate in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know. We'll put a box too up on our Instagrams as well. Yes. So you can leave a comment. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So are you feeling good about that? Do you have any last words for RomantasyCon 2026 before we move on to our Smash or Pass?
I don't have anything else to say.
That is a first for both of us. Just kidding. We can talk all night, but specifically about this. Okay.
Yeah, dude, just had so much fun. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And good night. Okay, now time for Smash or Pass. Okay. So we're going to do Romantasy themed. Okay, so I said on here that we do 3 each, so you want to just go back and forth, or do you want to rapid fire me?
Rapid fire each other. Great.
Okay, all right, back and forth. All right.
Let's go. Back and forth.
Okay, Ashley, Smash or Pass doing research about the haunted hotel you're staying at ahead of time?
Oh, I guess pass, because we did it a little bit last year and we're like, I don't know, this isn't that haunted.
Well, okay, for anyone who doesn't know, the reason why I put it was, so it's a smash for me because I like to know lore. But then I also have a really bad memory, so I forgot the lore and then was reminded by somebody when we were there. I was like, oh, that's right. So for anyone who doesn't know, the Biltmore Hotel was the last known place that the Black Dahlia was seen alive. Mm-hmm. So
I thought that was the other one.
I thought
the other hotel, one. The Cecil. So the Cecil Hotel is crazy.
I thought the Cecil Hotel was the one where the lady was found in the...
Oh, there's a... Well, yes, but the Cecil Hotel had a lot. I'm going to look it up, so continue.
I mean, that's all I have to say about that.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any more to say about that. I think that finding out... I mean, obviously, if you're staying at a traditional convention center, there might not be that much lore, but the Biltmore is historic and supposedly haunted.
Yeah. 1947. That was the last place she was seen alive. So, hey, there we go.
I think that you're right about the Cecil Hotel also being haunted, because I've listened to some, shout out to My Favorite Murder, one of my favorite podcasts, about that. And that was a crazy situation too. So
yeah, I think the Biltmore does have, both of the hotels have a room that's supposedly more haunted, or a floor. No, I think people were saying there's a specific floor at the Biltmore Hotel. Listen, I'm a naysayer, sorry, so I'm not going to sit over here and crap on everybody's party. So, but I think it's fun, and I think,
it's fun. It's just fun.
It's fun. I like to hear the stories and stuff, but I didn't feel anything. But I also literally forgot, so I wasn't looking. So, you know what I mean?
I like the lore as well. Would I actually want to be haunted? Absolutely not. I like it for the fun vibes. I don't need to actually see Kathy's ghost, okay? I'm good.
Yeah. We were making our own ghosts in there.
Yeah.
I think I would feel like it was more of a haunty vibe for me personally if the hallways weren't such a bright yellow. I don't know. There's something about the wall color that drives me nuts.
See, to me, that's very Stanley Kubrick, very The Shining vibe, because they're very long hallways.
They are.
And it's very creepy kind of overhead lighting that gives that vibe, and so I think it adds to that personally. Okay,
if the walls were just a different color for me, but I am so obsessed with architecture and the design, because it's very, if you've been to the Pantages Theater, it's very like that. So I'm just ooh, so a ghost was right there. I wouldn't even see it because I'm too busy looking at the scaffolding and the crown molding and the lights. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Okay. All right. What do you got for me?
Karaoke, Liz, smash or pass?
Smash in the way that they did it. I like the group energy and group effort.
Yes.
It's much less sad karaoke on a cruise ship and more fun sleepover at the best big party karaoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm, and so in that way, smash for sure. It was great.
Yes. Yeah, same answer. Because I was definitely curious. I'm I feel like a lot of us can be introverted, and you're going to have us doing karaoke, singing at people. But no, singing with people.
With people.
It's beautiful.
Group effort.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Ashley, smash or pass? finding out and mapping out where the authors you want to see ahead of time are versus roaming freely?
Oh, definitely smash doing it ahead of time. I think that we made that clear. What about you?
Yeah, definitely smash for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think of these ahead of time, so sorry. Smash or pass ticketed authors.
Oh, that's my last one. So let's just talk about
sorry.
it. No, it's okay. I would say, so last year we did several ticketed authors. This year we did none. That
we did
obviously that was last year. This year we didn't do any.
Yeah.
We definitely had a lot more going on this time because we were working and there in a, fun capacity, I guess you could say. Whereas last year we were there, only just doing our own thing all the time. So we had, theoretically more quote unquote free time. But even if I was just going as an attendee in the future, I think I would really limit my ticketed author signings to someone who like literally I am obsessed with and like need to meet in person.
Yes.
Because the reality is lots of times you can find their signed books at the bookstore that are already pre-signed. Or you can go to their Etsy and you can find, signed copies that you can order directly from them or their website. And so, I would say in the future, yes, I'll do a ticketed signing, but only if it's someone who I want to actually face-to-face talk to and, like, meet in person.
Yeah.
But other than that, I would rather roam. I would rather roam around.
You have to know that ticketed authors are going to be a time eater. Because you could be first in line, but you're probably going to be last. We feel like we were last in line last year for almost all of them because we didn't know where the heck we were going.
Yeah.
Or what we were doing. Hey, I don't know regrets. And last year there were specific authors we were wanting to meet. And that is why we got to interview. We had actually already interviewed Callie Hart with Quicksilver. So we had just done an interview with her. So we wanted to make sure we could see her in person. So we got to go do that. And that was great. And make that kind of connection and bond and everything. And talk about our podcast episode. And then we also met for the first time Penn Cole, which we hadn't read yet, but everybody was talking about it. So we did that. And then because of that, we had her on our podcast. So, and not in a pushy, like it was just very natural. And she's like complimented something that we had. And we're like, oh yeah, it's from our podcast. And then, oh, give me your stuff. So very naturally happened. We're not going out there and like forcing ourselves on to any authors in any way. So just depending what you kind of weigh your pros and cons, if you really want this signed, it's going to take an hour out of your day. Are you willing to do that?
Or more than that.
Or more. Yeah, sometimes. And there can be back to back.
Yeah.
It's a lot of standing. It's like Disneyland in that way,
Listen, I feel like Raven Kennedy is like, we're covering Plated Prisoner right now. She's my elusive unicorn who, I've been supposed to meet and then it didn't work out. And like, we've not got a chance to meet her yet. And so she's one of those where I'm like, I don't care if I'm in line all day. One day, I will meet you. But yeah, I would say, just kind of weigh how important that is to you and how many hours, you're willing to stand in line because that's going to be hours taken away from when you could possibly do your rounds in some of the other rooms and maybe meet, 10 authors.
I mean, you can't get it personalized. So that is something that you can't do from online or a random, shop having it. So you can get it personalized.
Sometimes you can.
Yeah. And then, know that if you don't get a ticketed author you really wanted, first of all, sometimes they have extra openings come up later. So check back. But there are so many authors in the other rooms and some that are really popular too. They could just only do so many ticketed authors. Lindsay Strauby's super popular and she had a line pretty much all day too. And the Direbound ones and Nine Tales, like there's still a lot of large authors in the other rooms too. So don't feel like because you didn't get those 6 or 8 that it's all for nothing. There's still a lot of great opportunities that you might not have to stand in line all day. And some of the authors, while you might not be able to get it signed, you might have other opportunities to meet them and chat with them because some of them are around, some of them go to the ball. So keep it cool, keep it kind, and have a good time.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. Well, I think that pretty much like wraps it up. If you're feeling good about that, I'm feeling good about it.
I feel good. Da, 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 da. Can't wait to do it again. Da, da, da. Well, you guys, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you like to listen to your podcast, including YouTube. We're Besties in the Books podcast everywhere. Instagram, TikTok too. Check out our new merch on the Fourth Wall Shop. If you're on YouTube, you can shop it right there. If you're on a podcast episode, you can shop it in the comments. Fourth Wall, Besties in the Books podcast, and you check out some of that new merch. Check out everybody.
Yeah, go follow everyone.
Posting everything. Go follow everyone. Why not? You don't have a limit. Go check everybody out. They're all awesome. And you guys, we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.